Hey guys, what's up and welcome to episode 3 of building the Morak Refinery from the Mandalorian Season 2 in LEGO. I'd like to start off this episode with a bit of a haul. This is actually my first shipment that I've ever ordered from Bricklink. I've never used Bricklink before. I know that probably sounds a bit surprising since basically everyone who builds with LEGO uses Bricklink, but I'm super glad I used it. I got a ton of cool pieces as you can see, and the first thing I'm going to be doing is replacing the wheels on the Juggernaut, because if you remember from episode 2, I didn't actually have enough wheels to... I didn't have enough wheels to fill up this side. I could only put them on this side. And I'm also going to be replacing the caps with these slightly bigger ones. I think those will just look a bit more realistic. So yeah, let's get on with that first. Alright, so I just finished putting on the rest of the tires and changing out the tire caps, and I love how this thing looks. It is finally complete. We finally have everything done, completely finished. I really like the new tire caps. I think it makes it look a lot more accurate to the show. Anyways, that's all we're going to be doing with the Juggernaut in this episode. I'm going to be building this piece of terrain right here. That kind of goes from the beginning of the bridge to as far back as I want to make it. I'm not sure how big this is going to be, but I think I'm going to be using all of my pieces that I have in the colors that I need to make it as big as I can, because I don't think I'll be using any of these colors over here where the refinery is going to be. Alright, so I was planning on time-lapsing myself building this section right here, but I forgot to click the button. So I didn't realize that I wasn't time-lapsing until I was completely done, and that was just a little bit of a whoopsie-daisy, you know? But you know what we say about whoopsie-daisies? We laugh about them, we cry about them, and then we move on. So, this is what I've gotten done so far. This is the front section of terrain. This is what's going to lead into the bridge, which will lead to the refinery. And this part is going to go underneath the Juggernaut itself. That's why I made it brown, because I want to save all my nougat orange pieces for the parts of the terrain that will actually be seen. Now, these green and blue pieces right here won't be staying. These are just so that I can temporarily stabilize the Juggernaut when it's sitting on here. And this piece right here actually connects to the bottom of the Juggernaut. I can basically just guide it into place, because I have some parts on the bottom of the Juggernaut that actually help show me where I need to connect the pole coming from the ground. And this helps me keep the Juggernaut in the same spot, even if I need to take it off the build, if I'm transporting it, filming something specific, anything like that. Also, if you're wondering what some of these squares are in the terrain, it's so that I can add these pieces in. Alright, so here's the plan. I actually ended up turning the Juggernaut the other way around. It was actually facing this way before, but I realized that I actually don't need that much space at the front. What I do need is a lot of space for terrain at the back, because this is where the pirates are going to be. So I basically just ended up flipping the Juggernaut around. It's facing the other direction now. And I've also built this large brace for the terrain to go in. Now, I definitely know that I won't have enough pieces to finish the terrain in this update. What I'm going to do is order the rest of the pieces that I need from Bricklink, and I'll have those next update, which means I can finish out the rest of the inner terrain. But what I'm going to be doing next is building the outer foundation, which will have all the grass. As you can see, the grass section has been started here. It's in olive green. So I'm going to start the outer foundation, start some of the grass. I've actually got a ton of olive green pieces now because I ended up taking apart my Parisian restaurant modular building, which was a shame, but I can rebuild it later. Anyways, that is the plan for today, and let's get into some more time-lapses. Time-lapses. Time-lapse. Alright guys, I think that's all the progress I'll be making in today's update. So, what I'm going to be doing in the next update is filling in the rest of this terrain. I'd say I have about half of it done, but I need to add some more pieces to the pathway right here, to the grass layer over on that side, and I also need to finish filling in the border over here. And let me explain the black border, because I was originally planning on making the outer edge of the MOC freeformed, but then I realized a couple problems with that. First of all, LEGO doesn't make many pieces in olive green, so if I would have made it freeformed, I probably just would have ordered some of these pieces again, and then the outside of it would have looked really, really blocky like this. As you can tell, I'm not a huge fan of how this part turned out, but I'm planning on covering all this up with a ton of grass, with a ton of different foliage pieces, like I'm going to make some bushes, and I'm going to make some trees as well, so that's going to cover all this up, but I didn't want anything like this being on the side. Plus, I think that with the black border, it's a bit more cost-effective, which means I don't need to order as many olive green pieces, and I also just think it looks really cool, and I think that once I finish the other part of the refinery and connect both of them, it's just going to look really clean and really solid as an overall build. Anyways, I really hope you guys enjoyed this update. Stay tuned for more updates coming very soon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.